Hi, everybody. How are you? So, I wanted to come on this afternoon just because I had a couple calls today and I wanted to discuss kind of what's been on my mind. I've talked to a few people in regards to loan modifications. Unfortunately, life happens, to us, and we have different circumstances that arise. So I just wanted to kind of hop on here and just talk about, if in the event you or anybody that faces a hardship. And there is true hardships, from one minute to the next. You never know, you're in a car accident, something declines in your health, or maybe someone in your family, there's a death, you lose your job. Life happens. And I know one of the biggest fears for a lot of, people that aren't sure if they want to buy or not is, what if I lose my job, or what if something happens, So this is I wanted to kind of cover that. So just so you know, when you buy a home, especially FHA, VA, government backed loans, there are certain modifications that are available to you. So in the event, you are suffering a hardship, you can definitely look and contact you want to contact your mortgage company almost immediately, just so that way you can see what options that you have available. Most companies have websites, so if you go to the hardship section of the website, it should be able to tell you, like, these are the options. Send in your information. They have HUD counselors, they have guidance counselors, to be able to give you the direction that you need. So, with that being said, I want to just make sure that you're aware, the importance of getting the help as early as possible. Because a lot of times people think, it's going to go away, something's going to happen for me, a miracle's going to happen, and just, nothing's going to happen unless you make it happen. So like I said, I just wanted to share that with you, just so that way, let me see, let me go here real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to get this so this way this adjusts. Um, let's see, here we go. Um, I just wanted to, share that with you guys so that way but I want to go back because um, this takes me back to, 2009, 2010, when there was so many short sales, so many people were underwater, and, they just didn't see any relief in sight. And I just, I had a couple conversations today, and it just really brought back some important things that I think that I just wanted to share just with consumers out there, just so that way the importance of, getting the right help. Now, it's super illegal if anybody requires you to pay them up front, and that includes attorneys. If an attorney is, asking you for money up front for a loan modification, now let's not get that mistaken. Obviously, if you're trying to sue your mortgage company or something, that's a retainer fee. That's something completely different. But if you specifically contact an attorney, or if an attorney contacts you and says, "Oh, I see that you're delinquent in your mortgage. We can help you. Give us $5,000 and we'll get started on it." So just so you know, that is 100% illegal. So I did bring up the paper that you can see here. These are like a consumer alert back in the day, which still apply today. But it was such a big deal that they had to publish this. And if you'd like a copy, I'd be happy to share it with you. But it just goes into the depth of advance fees for loan modifications. They're illegal in California, because before this was published, people could charge whatever, and they were. But unfortunately, what was happening was they were charging and then they were disappearing. So they were basically paying them to disappear, because, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people. So anyhow, what happens is, in the event, like I mentioned, if you are facing any kind of hardship, you can contact a real estate broker, a real estate agent. They can help you. They can legally help you. However, they cannot charge you up front. So that's the difference. So don't mistake it where you can't get the help, because you definitely can. There just cannot be any upfront fees. Now, going back to 2009, when I was getting referred a bunch of different people, because unfortunately, their loans were changing, they were interest only, and now they're going into, full amortization. So the payments were jumping, $200-300. There was just all this different, what they weren't told anyways. A lot of people were defrauded during that time, and that was why we ended up in the situation that we were in. You basically had to just have a heartbeat, and you could buy a home. I mean, it was as simple as that. And so and everybody definitely took advantage of those things, but did put some people in some bad situations. So therefore, these short sales and these loan modifications became very popular. I know a lot of people who short sold. I know a lot of people who lost their home. And I know a lot of people who actually decided to stick it out and just modify and do everything they could with their bank. And again, that just goes to show you that there are options as long as you're communicating with your bank. So the last thing that we want is for you just to avoid it, avoid the letters, avoid everything, and just think that, a miracle is going to happen. It's not. If you don't communicate with the bank, nothing's going to happen. So there are, like I said, different types. So there's forbearances, there's, different modifications where they can lower your interest rate temporarily. They can take some of the principal balance, put it at the very end, so it lowers your balance to make your payment lower. I mean, I've seen so many different things. I've seen where they've waived payments for 3 months, 6 months, a year, just depending on your particular type of hardship. So again, my whole spiel and everything for coming on here is just to, educate the consumer. And again, just let you know that if you are facing a hardship, if you see that there's no end in sight and you unfortunately are going to lose your home, please, don't, we all are emotional people. So we feel certain ways. Of course, it's devastating. We don't want to go through that. It's stressful. It's embarrassing. It's all of those things. But at the end of the day, most of our consumers today that are facing hardships have equity. They have equity, and they don't know what they don't know. I've talked to some people where I've told them, "Look, if you don't, make a decision, whether it is to sell or to try to get out from under what you're facing, you have a sale date. The bank's going to sell your home in a week or 2 or 3, whatever it ends up being. Um, but if your home goes to auction, the bank takes it back. Whatever equity you have in your home is no longer your equity. It's gone. It's non-existent. And there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't take action when you could have and when you should have. So there's a lot of advocates out there. I know there's agents that are trying to educate and let you know, like, they're there to help you. So the most important thing is to connect with someone you trust. Find someone you trust, maybe ask for a referral, so that way it's someone that's reputable, that is going to take care of you. But definitely, like I mentioned, don't wait till the end, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong at the end. It's better to plan ahead. At least that way you have time. It's, to prepare and to see maybe there might be other options. But the longer you wait to do any of those things, the less amount of options there are. Because a lot of banks, if they see that there's equity, then there's no reason for them to work with you if you're avoiding them. And then now at the 5th hour, you're deciding you want help, especially if you have a second lien, a third lien, or even tax liens. All of those, especially like those second, third, because they're in second and third positions. What happens is, as long as they can pay off the first, then they can enforce the foreclosure. A lot of them have been silent for a long time because there just wasn't enough equity for them to enforce the foreclosure, because the first wouldn't have gotten paid in full. But right now, with the surge, since 2020, the values have increased significantly. So what we're seeing is even a lot of people who purchased in 2021, where they, overbid it 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever it was, because they really wanted that home, they still have equity in their home. Prices have still continued to rise since then. That was 3 years ago, but they still have increased. But some of these people are just finding that they don't want to pay, or maybe they had some kind of hardship in their home, because like I said, life happens and we just never know when. So if you are facing that, please, make sure to reach out to someone that you trust, and go online, do your research before, doing anything. And like I mentioned, if anybody asks you for any money, just know that that's the biggest red flag. Stay away. Don't do that. Another thing is, as an example, I want to give you. So this was many years ago. Again, like I said, I was referred to several different people, just from, clients that I knew that, they had a friend, family, or someone that they worked with that was facing a hardship. So here I go to talk to these people. And the first thing they ask is, how much are you charging me? And the minute I say, I'm not charging you anything, and that's a red flag for them for whatever reason. They're like, no, that's not right. No one does anything for free. Wait, what's the catch? They were like really standoffish. They're like, there's this other guy that came. He said it's 5,000. Just tell us what your fee is. And I'm like, there's no fee. We honestly and truly want to help you. And I know a lot of people, consumers, think, well, why would you want to work for free? Who works for free? And see, what you don't understand is, being in the business as long as I have, we work for free a lot, but the thing is the way I look at it, and I'm sure the way a lot of my colleagues look at it, is when you do right, and when you do the right thing, and when you're helping others that just, they simply can't help themselves, or you, like I said, you just simply can't charge, it's you get it back in other ways. Because what happens is, at the end of the day, you're going to help these people. They're going to be thankful that they remained in their home, or that you provided options. And then what are they going to do? Definitely they're going to, refer you and talk about you and let everyone else know, how great you were. So, I've been doing this for 27 years, and I can tell you, all those years, that's why I've built where I'm at, and I am where I am, because of all those things, because of doing all those things for, our clients. So definitely it's important to, again, just be aware. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about today, is just to, be aware, and just know that there's a lot of scams out there. I mean, we know there's scams just in other things. I was in church on Sunday, and the priest said, if you guys get any text messages saying that I need gift cards, please know it's a scam, and some of my agents also have gotten text messages from who knows who, saying that I need gift cards. So we know that scams are happening everywhere. It's just part of our daily life, unfortunately. And this is something not to be taken lightly, especially if someone comes and says they'll do something for you, they'll promise you an outcome. There's no way anyone can promise you an outcome, because it's really up to the bank. They have their formulas, how they work. They're going to take a look at what your hardship is. Is it temporary? Is it permanent? How much, income are you making? Are you going to come up with certain income? What is the likelihood of you actually being a successful modification, meaning that it's temporary. Once they help you, you're going to be good to go. Or is it something that you're just going to struggle and eventually lose the home? So they're going to definitely look at all of those things. And then they're going to be able to let you know what, if you're approved or not. But at least you've tried, at least And obviously the worst case scenario is you still have to sell your home. That's the worst case scenario, which, if you have equity, it's not the worst case, because the worst case would be you lose and you don't get anything because you waited. So, like I said, just again, I just wanted to go over this with you just so you can see. I have the consumer alert information available. Like I said, if anybody would like it, you can always message me or email me and let me know. And just remember, do not pay in advance. If you know anybody who is facing a hardship, who needs help, who needs sincere guidance, we're definitely here to guide. I have a team full of great agents. We're very familiar with with the modification process, even the short sale process, if that has to be that. But whatever it is, we always try to see how we can help you first, how we can, keep you in the home, try to do our best to do that. But unfortunately, there are times where that's just not possible. And so if it's not, then we have to give you the next best option. So again, that's just being honest, being sincere, and guiding you in the right way. And if anybody were to, like I said, contact you and ask you for money, just know that you can report them by going to the DRE and letting them know that so and so or whatever, because there's a lot of people. And anytime you work with any professional in real estate, we do have state licenses, so you can always go to the DRE to verify their license. If they've ever been reprimanded and stuff like that, then obviously that shows as well. So you always want to verify the validity of someone's license, who they work for, and like I said, just make sure you're working with someone that is reputable. And yeah, like I said, if I can help you guys in any way, please know that's what I'm here for. And I will see you guys really soon. Have a great day.